Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a high-stakes emergency market update as ceasefire rumors send shockwaves through the charts from Bitcoin's massive surge towards 70K to the S&P 500's relentless pump. We are breaking down the macro chaos and what that looming Tuesday deadline means for your portfolio. Let's dive straight into the technicals and see if this breakdown is the real deal, this breakout is the real deal, or a massive trap. Let's get into it.
JJ's got the keys to the blockchain breeze. He's live every day, decode the amazing. JJ's cryptic corner where the coins keep turning. Log in now, the future's burning. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic corner. Pixels glow, charts flow, crypto whispers, secrets show. He cracks the code on this winding road. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic corner. JJ's cryptic. Tune in, lean back, grab your coffee, hit the track. JJ's live, don't be late. Cryptic wisdom, seal your fate.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Happy Monday. How's everyone doing today? Sound off in the chat. Smash the like button on your way in. I appreciate you guys for joining me. I fumbled the intro a little bit, but we got a poll for you guys. What will be the most profitable in the next decade? Let me know what you guys think. You got entrepreneurship / small business, real estate, always, stock market / investing, or Bitcoin / blockchain technology. Personally, I feel like this is a pretty good poll. Kind of hard to decide. I'm undecided myself still. Let's see. Let me get everything else good to go. The buttons are foreign to me today. Hey, what's going on, guys? Still in the bunker. We got the deadline tomorrow. Hopefully the deadline doesn't matter because we get a peace deal beforehand. That'd be cool. Realto said, can you check Bulla? Has Bulla's coin about 77 worth at 12 cents? Let's go take a look. Starting out straight into the trenches. 12 cents. It's currently sitting at... Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm sorry. 1.2 pennies, and you're at 1.4. Very nice. Okay, so I mean, there's definitely a distribution concern, I'm sure. I can't even get the chart to like read it properly. Goodness. Holy cow. There's a severe lack of liquidity, but wow. Okay. I mean, it's pretty dang close to zero. I can always go down further, though. Just be careful. I don't hate it. I like Hezbollah. I think he's funny. Funny guy. Your biggest concern is always going to be distribution, tokenomics, whatnot. You got to make sure that majority of the supply isn't in one person's pocket. Which... Okay, you got contract right here. 75, that's 6.3 mil. This is maybe, it might not be a liquidity contract. It could be just locked up or burned. But then you got 6 mil. See, this is probably a person. Is that a person? I don't know. That's hard to tell. Just be careful. The distribution I'm not super stoked about. Oh, it's changing. It's changing every second. Oh, that's liquidity providers, my bad. Yeah, just be careful. Can't really tell who is who and what's what. Okay, Bitcoin, $68,924.93. Looking good. What's going on, Dave? Long time no see. Gourmet, Philly, Fahid. Appreciate you guys. 88 medals. Real to true. That's why I wanted to ask you. I enjoy listening to you talk liquidity and etc. on coins. I can do a deeper dive. Remind me, like once we get through the charts, and I'll take another look at it for you. Bitcoin 68,918. We got a random burst of energy between last night and today, up to 70K. And we did actually reject that so far. Let's go refresh our liquidation heat map and see where we're at. What's going on, Giovanni? Billy? All right. Gourmet, what's up? Okay. So we liquidated some bulls. 68,132. 68,132. And we're going to go to the bottom of the bottom. Go all the way down. Mike stands in the way. 66,547. And then the bottom of the top, we've got a little ways away, 70,044. And then the top of the top, we've got, I'm going to go all the way up because I can, 72,994. There's good odds, apparently, that we hit 75K this month, which is pretty cool. We'll see what happens. That would make for an exciting April. As of right now, we were incredibly overbought on the 4-hour time frame. We have since retraced, and we are now currently sitting right around the moving average, which moving average itself happens to be right at about 60, and our RSI is dancing around 59. So we'll see if we get back above that, or if this is a cross into bearish territory below the moving average on the RSI. We do, however, for the first time since mid-March, which you can see, we had positive money flow, upwards price action, negative money flow, downwards, and then sideways price action. We just flipped positive money flow, and we got that upside leading into that, which is huge. Positive money flow started right here. So we're still green. That means the potential for upside is there. You know, that's not a sure thing. You know, you can still go down with positive money flow. So Bitcoin dominance is sitting right at 0. It is above 59 again, though. We had a little fake out false rejection right there, and we got right back above. We're currently sitting above. Next stop, probably 59.5. We continue this uptrend, and we'll see if we reject there. It does look, it looks a little double bottomy, doesn't it? It's doing the thing. I forget what it's called every time. A harmonic. It's doing like the harmonic thing, where it's probably gonna do one of these. We'll see what it plays out when it's done. But for now, it does look like more upside might be in the future for dominance specifically. ETH is up 0.38% since the daily close, currently sitting at 21.14. We are still well above 2K, which is huge, even with that rejection of our purple trend line. Purple trend line. What does the purple trend line go to? How relevant is the purple trend line? Oh my gosh, purple trend line goes all the way back to 2020, so that is a 6-year trend line. And it's iffy, you know, we had some support-ish, obviously started way back there. And then once we get up here, we had a little reaction right there, and then we failed, got below it, rejection, again, back above. And right now, we have rejected it once already on the weekly time frame, which probably looks better on the daily. Let's go take a look. Yeah, actually, daily has a lot of rejections, so a little fake out above. Getting above that's going to be important. Purple trend line, we're going to keep an eye on it. As of right now, we have rejected. We're sitting at 21.13. We want to get above 22 in order for it to be a little more exciting for ETH specifically. Gold. Gold is up 0.16% on the day. 46.56 on the price. Are we consolidating before more upside or downside? It looks like this. And unfortunately, this last one resulted in downside, and we don't want that. So let's see what happens. Are we just going to do one of these? Bounce off of like 36, 37, 38? Or can we actually see some proper upside out of here? What do you guys think? Do you guys think gold is done for? We hit our support target of 42.50, which is the most arbitrary number, like it was previous resistance, sure, but what, two little pokes on a 4-hour time frame? What's, what does that matter? Which is kind of silly. But I mean, we held it. We got above 43.81, and we're sitting at 46.59 right now. 47.50, I think, is going to be the next arbitrary level to get above, psychological, every 250 bucks. We are sitting below the moving average on the RSI, looking like we're about to cross bullish. Let's see, though. We got a bearish cross, and now we're consolidating. Can we use that to break above and continue to the upside? Maybe eventually become overbought again at a little bit of a higher valuation. Silver is up 0.26. We have reached the end of the silver fractal, which actually played out very nicely. This was another random thing. I pulled it and I scaled it down tremendously. We had our dip, we had our dip, we had our dip, and we had our dip. The fractal has all of those. Dip, 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 dip. Same exact thing. Just played out a slightly different, like, warped variation of it. Fahid said, don't forget to like the stream when you arrive and subscribe if you're new. Yeah, anybody new subscribing, appreciate you guys. Anybody that's been here subscribed, appreciate you guys. Anyone that's here and a regular and not subscribed, I kind of respect you. But that's kind of funny. Mike Joey said, I have a bean boy attitude and a beanbag scarlet on my mantle by the fireside. We have a bean stew this coming Thursday as well. Very cool. Let's continue current poll. We got 6 votes. Can we get some more votes on the poll? I asked you guys, which will be the most profitable in the next decade? So far, we're tied between Bitcoin/blockchain technology and entrepreneurship/small business. What about a Bitcoin blockchain small business? Little double whammy there. DXY, dancing with 100. It is struggling. Is it? I think it really is, actually. I guess I would make the argument that it's kind of struggling to get above and stay above 100. But it definitely looks strong. It doesn't look weak. So let's see what happens with this, because this is mostly going to be what determines our next couple months, honestly. With the conflict in the Middle East going on, it's a little hard to see the bigger picture, but once that comes to an end, all things like outside of that we're taking into consideration, the ISM PMI has been an expansion for 3 months straight. This last one that printed from February or March is the first one that's been above the first print above 50. So we are officially like positive month over month. And that supposedly leads to a proper bull market. Not to mention we also have Kevin Warsh coming in as the new Fed chair in, I believe, next month, May. So I think his first meeting is in June. I could be wrong. But who knows, maybe he'll campaign and convince everybody else to do an emergency cut and we'll go to zero or something. I will say the Fed is definitely printing a ridiculously, insanely large amount of money right now. Or they're at least injecting it. I don't know, maybe they have it sitting on the sidelines already. The the Dow Jones, following the fractal very nicely. We'll see if this continues. I'm not entirely sold on this fractal. So far, the idea is nice. We got a little pullback, a little recovery. Are we going to go into a deeper pullback by, the end of this week, early next week? I'm not sure. And then we'll see if we get a bounce off of that and end April heading out of here. Otherwise, I wouldn't mind a recovery from here. Maybe it's supposed to look like this. I don't know. You never know. Nasdaq. The fractal is just an idea. The Nasdaq fractal, though, this one has been pretty amazing. I don't remember when we put it on. I think it was around here. So everything past that point has been almost perfectly spot on. It's like freakish how good this looks. Every time I look at it, I'm a little bit flabbergasted. I got so ballsy that I posted on X this move right here. And then the subsequent upside, topping out at around 25.2. So, and I did specify in the post that I was only putting that on there just in case it does play out, and then I can talk about how I was right. I can brag about it. So, plausible deniability. Cheers, guys. Happy Monday. Start of a new week. There's only 52 weeks in a year. Crazy stuff. Nasdaq got a nice bounce off the moving average in the RSI in the 4-hour time frame. Potential upside is definitely in the cards, but downside is in the fractal, so we'll see if that happens, and if it does, we're looking for a Friday bottom if we're following the fractal. Otherwise, like I said, I would love to decouple from this, because right now it does look like a proper correction still. How far are we going to go? Hopefully we already went as far as we can go. S&P currently up 0.44% on the day. Nasdaq, S&P, Bitcoin, gold, and silver all green for the day. Looking good. S&P also has 2 fractals that we're following. As of right now, I think fractal number 2 is playing out better. I think Lunar Entity helped us pull this fractal. Jeez, I hate it when I do that. I don't know how to fix it. Yeah, the Lunar Entity fractal is a little double bottom, which kind of looks for us recovering heading into June and then bottoming around September and then continuing to the upside throughout the remainder of the year. In the current fractal, the one before the Lunar Entity fractal, the original fractal, shows us pretty much bouncing where we're at, and that was the bottom, and then we grind up out of that, and we're probably going to be break even with the current high around September as well. So all signs point to a hopeful September. None of them are factual, they're all just guesses based on previous price action, so it's fun to watch though. 66.11 on the current price on the S&P. Can we get above 67 next? Or is this where we reject and form our little first double bottom in the Lunar Entity fractal? I will tell. NVIDIA is up 0.14% on the day. The NVIDIA fractal has failed, which is awesome. We want to see this grind up and out. Otherwise, I don't know, maybe further downside to 145. I would like to see this recover though. Otherwise, we're going to be definitely stirring a lot of bubble maxis insisting that we're in an AI bubble. You do see it play out around the same amount of time though, in the fact that we've gone through pretty much all of that time and we haven't pulled back that far yet. I think there's a good chance, in my opinion, not a financial advisor, that NVIDIA may have bottomed or will be bottoming soon. But again, it's going to take some catalyst in the news for AI, for NVIDIA specifically. I don't know. Their numbers came in recently pretty good, and it didn't really do much for them. So they might have peaked. They might be plateauing. They might grind down. I don't know. It's really up in the air. Tesla's down 2.15% on the day. For Tesla, we broke below 362.15, which is kind of sad. Are we heading to 322 next? Arbitrary level. I suppose it was support once upon a time, maybe back here. And why else is it relevant? 322, it was a resistance kind of right there. Support right there, support right there, support right there. So yeah, let's see if 322 comes into play for potential support this time around. MicroStrategy, aka Big B Coffee. The reason it's called Big B Coffee is because Michael Saylor, he, what's it called? Peyote? I think he went on like a paid trip. It was like a timeshare thing, but instead of selling you a timeshare, they just convinced you to do peyote. And they gave you Big B Coffee afterwards. And the come down, he had a really bad trip. So when he came down and they gave him Big B Coffee, it was like life-changing for him. Opened his third eye, he claims. The coffee, not the peyote. And so it's kind of like a... I don't want to use the word worship, that seems inappropriate, but he really likes Big B Coffee because of that. So he actually modeled his logo off of their logo, which is pretty cool. Little Michael Saylor wiki for you. MicroStrategy 126.47 current price. We have a trend line, and that trend line is the previous upper trend line from this lovely wedge that broke out to send it to no all-time highs, well above $500. Very cool. So this is technically the first time we're retesting that trend line, which is interesting. Can we hold that, bounce off of it, and continue to the upside? We had trouble right here. We got a little fake out of the downside. Since then, we've traded well above it, but we're going back for seconds. And we're going to have to see what plays out. We got a confirmed green dot on Market Cipher on the 4-hour time frame. Is that present on the daily? No, it is not, but we do have a green dot on the momentum wave, point to the upside on the daily. So let's see if we get a push to the upside. I'm actually quite pleased with it being up 6.56% on the day. Let's check Bitmine as well, because they're in a similar vein. Very similar structure, $20.38. This thing's been $20 since February. So we're going on month number 2. Let's see if the pattern can break. Bitcoin down, it's 59.09. Solana down 0.22. We had a little bit of a loss on Sol. Failed to get above 82.47. Currently struggling to hold 80.16. We'll see if it gets back above that. We got a bearish cross over the moving average in the RSI. And a red dot on the momentum wave pointed to the downside. Let's see if we get a proper pullback down to 75, or if 77.5 ends up holding like it did previously. Total 3. Also looking like it rejected 711, and unfortunately we're in the process as we speak of losing 700 billion, which is not great. 88 said strategy posts 14.4 billion in Q1 Bitcoin valuation losses. Keeps buying despite the hit. Released their 1 quarter. Yeah. I saw that. That's actually in the news segment as well. ADA, seemingly rejecting 26, currently sitting at 24.47. This thing cannot hold 25 cents to save its life. It is down 0.49% on the day. Let's see how much further it goes. Despite the sideways price action, pretty much flatlined, our RSI has grinded up since the end of March, beginning of April. We are 6 days in, and our RSI is almost, not almost, it's at about 50. But the price is at the same as it was on March 28th. And the RSI back here was at like 35. So the RSI is grinding up while the price is not, which stinks. We don't like that. We're ever getting a compressed version of this, and we're going to get another smaller breakdown where the price action gets even more tiny and very unbearable and boring and crappy. The potential's there. Snag is at 0.32% on the day, currently trading at 41.14. Is this thing going to hold 4? Hopefully. Let's get back above 5 and start turning heads. That's what I want to see. RSI, nothing really crazy going on with this thing. It's quiet. Midnight. Similar disappointing situation. We got some wicks indicative of some buying pressure, but the price cannot stay up. And for some reason, I'm not surprised. I'm 50-50 on whether or not I'm a fan of Midnight. It's just, it seems, the chart seems weirdly manipulated, and it seems like they've run out of juice to manipulate it, actually. And what's funny is the volume's actually higher this time around. I don't know if more people are selling or what, but still, nothing will ever crack me up more than the welcome Binance sell-off. This was one of the funniest things I've ever witnessed in crypto. Gourmet said the AI bubble narrative is largely a distraction because private equity and the software sectors are under pressure, and this framing is being pushed to shift the attention and protect their own position. Interesting. XRP is up 0.17% on the day. Are we about to hit a recovery bid? 132 on the price. I guess if we've rejected 134.97 again. Pretty much 135. And we got kind of like a descending broadening wedge. I'm not sure, is that bullish or bearish? Let me look that up. I don't put too much stock into these things. Descending broadening wedge is a technical chart pattern characterized by 2 diverging downward sloping, blah, blah, blah. Indicates increasing volatility, lower lows, lower highs, reliable, 80% of the case, bullish reversal pattern. Ooh, okay. So there's potential bullish reversal pattern playing out on XRP. We'll see what happens. It's a little bit subjective, though. You know, you gotta... Yeah, it is descending. It's a descending broadening wedge. It's exactly what that is. So let's see if she reverses and pushes to the upside. That'd be pretty cool to see. We do have a confirmed green dot on markets ever on the 4-hour time frame, which resulted in a pretty hefty bid to the upside after hitting 130. So that's pretty cool. H-bar. Bottom of the range. This is a bullish range, though. It's a descending channel. So let's see if it gets to the top and breaks out. That'd be cool. Sweet. Bottom of the range. Not much to write home about here. 87.27. We got to get back above $1 in order for me to start caring about the price of sweet. Because right now it looks a little derpy. Ondo. Ondo has been super boring. I tried to make a case for several patterns. It's just the most sideways, choppy. Do we call it an accumulation or distribution? Is it going to go up or down? I don't know. The potential for a inverse BART is there, but we need to see some positivity because right now it's really most of the price action is happening well below the 27-cent line. And the range goes from 24 to 30, so that's a big range. And for most of the price action to be on the lower half, leads me to believe that it's kind of weak. Arrow. Arrow is kind of a wedge kind of situation. It's just not looking great. But it's got potential for double bottom, and when this thing does move, it moves pretty hard. So let's see if it wakes up eventually. As of right now, though, we are near the bottom. The previous bottom. It might not be the bottom. It could go lower for sure. So keep an eye out on that. 31.07. Looking for 30 to hold. This is a big psychological level. Avalanche. Ooh, harsh rejection at 950. Avalanche woke up last night and has since failed to break above 950, which is kind of sad. We are at 885 right now, which broke pretty angrily below 9. Not great. We got a confirmed red dot on market side for a point to the downside on the 4-hour time frame, which is actually what led to that big fat red candle. So if you would have played that red dot, you could have made a decent trade. That's a 4.4% negative candle. Not financial advice, but something to take into consideration. I successfully shorted earlier. I'm very proud of myself. Chainlink, I guess for Avalanche, it's just at the bottom of the range, man. It looks just like Ondo. Ondo has a little more volatility. Avalanche is just, like most of the time, is below 950. You had a little fake out above right there. But it's between, like, 850 and 950. We gotta wake up, man. Avalanche needs to do some spring cleaning. I guess we got a confirmed red dot back here, which is a good illustration as to why you might not want to put 100% of your stock into that either. That confirmed red dot is approximately right here, and the price didn't really do much. You know, you got a little baby sell-off, support, and then it broke to the upside. Still ended up failing, but still, if you would have opened up a short, there's a decent chance you would have been liquidated because the price went further up from that. Now, this, for some reason, is a repeating pattern that we're seeing here. I would even argue that this is the same thing on a larger scale. I don't know really what to say beyond this. There's something weird going on in the charts. Chainlink, same thing. 884, we're below $9. Can't hold above $9. It's getting a little bleak out here. Chainlink had a ascending channel that it broke below. Ascending channel is a bearish continuation pattern. It's not looking great for Chainlink. It's not. So I want that to be not true, and I want to be proven wrong, but right now it looks like we had a second attempt failure to get back into our range. I might try to short this just as a hedge. I like Chainlink. I don't want it to go down, but I'm gonna try to, I don't know, make a little bit of money off of it if I can. And I'm really bad at shorting, so might be a good time to buy. Gourmet said everything's in the pooper. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Doge is at the bottom of the bottom, man. This thing, if it falls, then the floor is falling out from under it, and it's like in some genuine quicksand. The chart that we've been looking at with Mr. Lunar Entity, that we want to go down from here, that we want to reject from here, is continuing to downside, which is actually a big deal. If this is actually topped out and pushed us down from here, according to Lunar Entity, and he seems to know a lot more about this stuff than I do, we should have some pretty decent price action on all investments, I think. Gold is up 0.24 on the day. Let's get to the news segment. See what Bitcoin decides to do here after rejecting 70K. Check the poll. We got 9 votes. I'm going to end it because we are not tied for the top. I asked you guys, what will be the most profitable in the next decade? 56% of you guys said Bitcoin/blockchain technology. 22% said entrepreneurship/small business. 11% said real estate, always. And 11% said stock market/investing. We got a total of 9 votes. Next poll. We've got, do you think we're about to experience a proper real estate bubble pop? Yes, long overdue. No, too strong. Yes, not that bad, though, by design. Or no, own nothing, be happy. Peasant. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the poll in the chat. Do you think we are about to experience a proper real estate bubble pop? Your options are yes, long overdue, no, too strong, yes, not that bad though, by design, or no, own nothing and be happy, peasant. Let me know what you guys think. Cheers. Happy Monday. News segment time. A lot of news today. We got a couple things from last night. We got this random gentleman, Wayne Root, who apparently is on television, posted last night. Mark my prediction down. As I've predicted for many months, U.S. economy under President Trump will explode by summer. Just in time for midterms. I've said it before, I'll say it again. We will see one of the greatest economic booms in modern history, 4%, maybe as high as 5% GDP, as long as we are out of Iran soon. Gas will drop, inflation will drop, new Fed chair will lower interest rates, homes will sell, stocks will fly, jobs will skyrocket. If GOP passes SAVE Act, or Trump EO, even better, and Supreme Court affirms, combined with economic boom, we win midterms. Are we underdog right now? Of course, big underdog. I'll take that bet. Underdog about to pay off big time. It's the economy, stupid. So let's see if this gentleman's prediction ends up being correct. I actually don't mind it. It's definitely a little biased, clearly. He says we a million times, but I mean, if the economy does great, I don't really care who's in the seat. Kalshi said, U.S. and Iran reportedly now discussing 45-day ceasefire plan. That was 21 hours ago. I believe that rumor was mentioned on stream by one of our chat members as well. Tracer posted, this is alleged, Binance, Coinbase, and Bybit just started accumulating crypto ahead of the U.S. market open. They are non-stop buying millions of Bitcoin every few minutes. Looks like Iran deal is coming tomorrow. I actually think this is clarity driven, and I think that this is either them replenishing or customers buying and them custodying through banks and ETFs and whatnot. So we'll see. BRICS News posted 16 hours ago, U.S.-Iran ceasefire plan could come into effect today and officially reopen the Strait of Hormuz, according to Reuters. Fed has no scheduled injection for April 7th. This figure, routine treasury. Okay, hang on. 15 hours ago. So there's a community note on here for reserve management, not QE or money printing. Okay, so apparently this is incorrect. Breaking. Banks and crypto firms have privately agreed on a deal for the Bitcoin market structure bill. An announcement is expected this week. The Clarity Act has been stuck since January over one dispute, whether crypto platforms can offer yield on stablecoins. That fight appears to be over. Coinbase CLO Paul Grewal said on April 1st they were within 48 hours of a deal. Sources now say the compromise was finalized Friday. The Senate Banking Committee markup is expected in the second half of April. If this holds, the most important piece of crypto legislation in U.S. history moves forward. Isn't that what they said about the Genius Act, though? I guess we're so far into this, I feel like the boy who cried wolf with the Clarity Act. Everyone and their sister is insisting on the Clarity Act being this life-changing sliced bread setup, and I don't really see it. I feel like we've been waiting for too long. Watch Your Guru posted, Brent crude oil falls after reports of U.S. and Iran discussing a 45-day ceasefire that could permanently end the war. $70,000 Bitcoin 15 hours ago, and much to Watch Your Guru fashion, the price level that they report on ends up being incorrect later. We are no longer at 70K, nor did we hold it really at all. So, my opinion, that could be something that you set up a trading bot for. If Watch Your Guru says Bitcoin's at this level, do the opposite of whatever direction they're claiming that Bitcoin is going, and you could probably make it a decent chunk of change off of that, because for whatever reason, they seem to report at the exact reversal moment, which is kind of hilarious. I guess it makes sense, though. You get psychological levels that people feel the need to report on, and the price goes the opposite direction afterwards. So it's just comical how often it happens. Jamie Dimon looks creepier every time I see him, dude. 4.8 trillion. JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon says Iran war could drive inflation higher and push financial markets down further, which makes me think that everything's going to be fine now, because since when do they give a shit about anybody knowing anything ever? Michael Saylor's strategy buys 4,871 Bitcoin worth $330 million. Absolute giga chad, Michael Saylor. President Trump says he wants to seize Iran's oil. It's there for the taking. There's not a thing they could do about it, which is kind of a crazy thing to say, but okay. I did see also that ahead of our alleged bombing of their infrastructure, they have, like, they're trying to get their youth to, like, arm in arm around all of the infrastructure that we're threatening to bomb, which is the weirdest thing to me. Like, I understand the optics of it, but why would you ever chance that? That's so strange. Like, hey, let's put our women and children in front of all of these things that the United States just said that they were going to bomb, just so that when they do bomb it, they look like idiots. But, like, you're literally killing your women and children. Like, it's such a weird thing to do. That's so weird to me. Anyways. Polymarket to launch 1-to-1 USDC-backed crypto collateral token. That's actually smart. JP Morgan says tokenized real-world assets market could grow to $13 trillion by 2030. That's crazy. Just in, President Trump considers charging tolls for his ships passing through the Strait of Hormuz. Barney Party posted, quantum computing is not a near-term threat to blockchains. The risk is 10 to 20 years away, and blockchain can upgrade their cryptography faster than traditional financial system, which is far more at risk. Don't believe the FUD. Stablecoin mint 1 minute ago. This was 9 hours ago. Another $250 million USDC issued on Solana. Rolling week 2.83 billion. Rolling 30 days 8.26 billion. That's a lot of dough. Kobe, see you later. We are at the meat and potatoes of the news segment. The U.S., Iran, and a group of regional mediators are discussing a potential 45-day ceasefire that could lead to a permanent end to the Iran war per Axios. So I did actually see as well that there's a lot of people pointing out that Axios is kind of who gets fed information that's maybe not true, or they're not good at verifying it for some reason. I thought that was kind of interesting. But per Axios, details include: 1. This is being described as a last-ditch effort to prevent massive strikes on Iranian civil infrastructure. What's going on, Saeed? Happy Tuesday for you, my friend. Happy Monday for everybody else. Mediators are discussing the terms for a two-phase deal. The first phase would be potential 45-day ceasefire, during which a permanent end to the war would be negotiated. A U.S. official said Trump gave Iran several proposals in recent days, but so far Iranian officials have not accepted. The sources said the chances for reaching a partial deal over the next 48 hours are still slim. U.S. stock market futures have erased all losses. That was 18 hours ago. 13 hours ago, JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon warns private credit losses will be larger than expected, which leads me to think that they're going to be fine, because they never tell retail what to look out for. They don't care about retail. Iran has rejected a temporary ceasefire proposal and said it has formulated a response to the U.S.'s demands to end the war, per Reuters. Iran's foreign ministry says they will announce their response to the U.S. 15-point plan when necessary. 11 hours ago, there have been widespread reports about a potential 45-day ceasefire in the Iran war over the last 12 hours. Just now, a U.S. White House official was asked about the reports. The White House said the 45-day ceasefire is just one of many ideas being discussed, and that the President Trump has not signed off on it. Iran has also rejected requests for a potential ceasefire to temporarily reopen the Strait of Hormuz. At this point, markets are becoming numb to the headlines, with oil prices moving less than 3% amid all of those reports. We continue to believe the downside in equities is limited as headline fatigue is growing and dip buyers are eager to acquire quality names at a discount. Keep watching sentiment. I like that. I'm here for it, man. Real to True said, my Michigan Wolverines hopefully can pull off the win tonight. Real to True, are you from Michigan? Because I'm from Michigan. I'm currently in Michigan as we speak. That's pretty sick, actually. I'm not a big football guy, but I would pick the Wolverines. You mind doing a deep dive on my Bulla long when you have some time? Planning to hold it for a little while? Yeah, I'll get into it. We'll take a little break from the news segment. I don't want to get through news too fast. Bitcoin's pushing down 68,752. Let's go take a look at Bulla again. So, it's up 72.6 now. I think it's up a little bit more than it was earlier. Look at all that sell wall, though. Wow. So, I'm not going to get into the chart, because the chart, you can't really do much with the chart, honestly. This thing is down. Since June, since launch. Actually, now that I'm on the daily, it doesn't look too awful. But the violent moves, these moves are likely because there was no liquidity. Somebody smashed market sell, and then I got bought up really quick. Somebody smashed market sell again. Market sell, market sell, market sell. All of those crazy wicks to the downside. This is a market buy right there. That's a market sell, market sell. Those crazy moves are market moves. Top Sock Scott said, LOL, well, good thing you aren't a football guy. Real Drew said, LOL, I live in Vegas, but I'm on a blackjack card counting trip around the United States. I'm in Alabama currently, heading up to northern Ohio and Detroit area to see my family next week. Hell yeah. Okay. Like I said, this thing's close to bottoming out. You can just as easily, you can go to zero in a single wick. We've watched it happen a million times. Market sells. There's no one willing to buy. Or there's no market buys if there's no market maker. So that's why those wicks happen, essentially. With that being said, JJ Sports, he doesn't get it. I like hockey. I'll do hockey, man. I feel like if I tried to get into soccer, I could probably get into soccer like a lot. I do like the simplicity of soccer. You get so much trouble for saying that. Okay, let me check the RSI really quick on this guy. We are trenching for a moment, if you guys don't mind. Okay, the RSI is useless. So, I'm just going to go straight into tokenomics. Holders. You got either a liquidity protocol or this is maybe locked. Let me actually check on CoinMarketCap. Number 796, Go Wings, hell yeah. Actually, behind my desk, I have a jersey signed by the New Jersey Devils from their Stanley Cup in the 90s. I want to say 92. Everybody but one. 94, 95. That's what it is. 94, 95. Okay. Anyways, we're getting distracted. I wanted to see the circulating supply is 1 billion. Max supply is 1 billion. Okay, so there's no print. That's good. Holder count is increasing. That's huge. See, this is my issue. The top 10 holders hold 92.74% of it. And we know for a fact that not all of those are like locked in a contract. We got 3 of those are locked in a contract. The rest of them, this one might be a person. We have no way of knowing. Because if somebody like has this much and they sent it to a fresh wallet, then it would show 0 transactions like that. That's where the bubble maps kind of comes into play. That guy holds 161K, and your liquidity is only at 76K. So that's a big problem. Your $76,000 liquidity cannot like support this one guy selling, or this one guy selling, or this one guy selling. You know, so you gotta be careful. Even if these two people sold, your liquidity would basically be like almost gone if just a handful of these people sold. This top 80 holders holding the vast majority is not great. But if it's just a gamble play, then none of that really matters, to be completely honest. And you are getting a liquidity spike. So it's just kind of one of the, it's like buying Hawk to a, be the same thing. Was buying the Hawk to a coin. Man, this thing's been dead since February. Holy cow. And it keeps going down further. Holy crap. Okay, forget I said that. This thing's going to zero. Bull probably has a way better chance of not dying like that. Let's continue the news segment, though. Iran has submitted a 10-point response to the U.S. plan to end the war. Iran's proposal includes an end to conflicts in the region and protocol for safe passage through the Strait of Hormuz. A senior U.S. official describes the Iranian response as maximalist and said that it is not clear if it will allow progress toward a diplomatic solution. We expect full details on the top 10 response shortly. That was 9 hours ago. We also got investors sold $5.35 billion in U.S. investment-grade corporate bond funds in the week ending April 1st, the largest outflow since April 2025. Excuse me. This also marks the first outflow since November and only second over the last 12 months. As a result, the investment-grade corporate bond ETF LQD fell 2.1% in March, the largest monthly decline in 11 months. Furthermore, U.S. high-yield bond funds have recorded outflows for 8 consecutive weeks, while leveraged loan funds have posted outflows in 5 out of the last 6 weeks. Global investment-grade high-yield bond funds saw minus $7.9 billion in combined outflows last week, the largest since April 2025. The credit market is under pressure. Under pressure. Iranian oil is now more expensive than Brent crude. Iranian light crude is trading at a premium of plus $1 per barrel to Brent for the first time since May 2022. This is a sharp reversal from the minus $10 per barrel discount in early 2026. This means buyers are now paying more for Iranian oil than the global benchmark, unlike the usual steep discounts under sanctions. The shift came after the U.S. temporarily waived some sanctions on Iranian oil on March 20th. Iran is also the only major Gulf producer that is still able to export through the Strait of Hormuz, while Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and others remain effectively blocked. As a result, buyers are paying for any barrels they can still move, even those that were previously restricted. Iran is increasingly benefiting from disruptions in regional oil flows. All right, that's kind of ass backwards. Breaking 7 hours ago. The U.S. military is preparing for potential strikes on energy targets in Iran as President Trump sets a final deadline of 8 p.m. Eastern Time Tuesday for a peace deal. We will probably be live streaming at that time. Details include, I'm sure they'll probably push it or do something, unless maybe they do go on with strikes. Maybe we'll have to live stream some crazy crap. Details include military planners are preparing lists of potential targets to provide Trump with options if he decides to attack energy infrastructure, U.S. officials say. Trump said he would destroy all of Iran's power plants if Iran does not agree to reopen the Strait of Hormuz by Tuesday. There are many energy targets in Iran with a military nexus, U.S. officials say. An energy source could be considered a legitimate military target if it has been used for military purposes, U.S. officials say, such as if it is being used to provide fuel for rocket launchers. Trump's deadline is 31 hours away. That was 7 hours ago, so he's actually 24 hours away, isn't it? Yeah. Actually 23 now. It's 8:52. I could have just looked at the clock and it would have been easier to figure out. Flight Fan said, so is this defense bill going to bail out all of private credit? And how long till that bill hits the stock market, considering we are in war at the moment? Will they fast track it 1 to 3 months at most? I'm not sure. What did they just approve recently? There was something that got like out of nowhere, was just like magically came out of nowhere and was approved like that day. And I thought it was really weird. because that never happens. Was it the CFTC thing? I don't remember. President Trump on Iran, the entire country could be taken out in one night, and that night might be tomorrow night. That's a crazy thing to say. President Trump says his administration will contact the person who published the article leaking that the second U.S. F-15 pilot was missing on Friday. Trump says the author of the article will go to jail if they do not release the name of the person who leaked this information. Kwame said, I don't think this bill will get approved until Q4. I know M2 money supply just hit a new all-time high. U.S. M2 money supply just hit a new all-time high. Flight Fan said $200 billion to defense was approved a little while ago. Was that what it was? Kwame said it was the AI ruling, JJ? Okay. Let me see. Supreme Court denies artificial intelligence authorship. Hang on. Declined to hear Thaler versus Perlmutter, confirming only human-created works are eligible for copyright protection. Okay. AI chats as evidence. Federal versus state regulation. State-level safety. It was a weird one. AI is not your lawyer. I don't remember. It was such a quick thing, though. They came up with it, and then it got approved a week later, and we were like, whoa. We didn't even talk about this. We're not used to them getting stuff done that fast, so there's something weird going on with AI. I think it was AI. Okay, fear among investors is rising. The robo put-to-call ratio is up to 1.0, the highest in at least 20 years. This ratio tracks retail opening buy orders in options, with the current reading showing retail traders buying nearly equal amounts of puts and calls. The ratio has doubled since December, marking the largest increase since the start of the 2022 bear market. By comparison, the previous high was 0.95, seen during the 2020 pandemic. Even the 2008 financial crisis saw a lower high of 0.91. Fear is becoming overdone in this market. Something with Anthropic. Flight Fan said, this bill can't wait till Q4 because it's this year's budget plan. Gold now trades more than most major financial assets in the world. Average trading volume in gold averaged $361 billion per day in 2025, nearly triple the $134 billion per day seen in 2021. Gold ETC and exchange volumes rose to $180 billion and $174 billion per day, followed by ETFs at $7 billion. Trading volume in gold now officially exceeds treasury bills at $186 billion, the Euro Greater British Pound currency pair at $169 billion, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average at $100 billion. By comparison, the top three most traded U.S. stocks, Apple, Nvidia, and Tesla, combined averaged $26 billion per day in 2025. Gold market activity is surging at a record pace. I like that they did Easter colors for the chart. That's kind of funny. Okay. Next, we've got breaking. United Health stock surges over 11% after U.S. Medicare and Medicaid services finalizes plans and payment policies, seeing a plus 2.5% annual increase for private insurers. This was well ahead of the expected 1% increase. What if I said, can I make your intro music my ringtone? Yes, you can. Absolutely. Yeah, there's no copyright on the intro music, guys. So have at it, man. Okay. Breaking. Services activity expanded for the 21st straight month, according to March ISM Services PMI, but momentum cooled. Headline PMI came in at 54, down 2.1 points from February's 56.1, and below the 54.8 consensus. Key details: business activity down 6 points, slowest pace since September 2025. New orders up 2 points, strongest since February 2023, signaling solid forward demand. Employment down 6.6 points, first contraction in 4 months. Price up 7.7 points, sharp acceleration in input cost pressures. Conclusion: the services sector, which drives the majority of U.S. GDP and jobs, remains in expansion but is losing steam. Robust new orders point to resilience ahead, yet the drop in current activity and outright hiring contraction suggests softening labor demand. The surge in prices to 70.7 reinforces sticky services inflation, keeping core PCE and CPI elevated and likely limiting the Fed's room for aggressive rate cuts. Trueflation services inflation remains steady and low today at 0.36% year over year, in stark contrast to goods inflation at 3.5%, which has increased 3.5x since the gasoline prices boom. Trueflation services inflation hovered between 0.85% and 0.5% throughout March 2026. Also, this one was kind of funny to me. Looks like eggflation is a thing of the past, with a dozen eggs now costing $2.92 or $2.92. Near its 2023 lows. Happy Easter, everyone. This was my favorite point. Whenever Trump started talking about anything, he'd talk about the price of eggs. So we've officially tired of winning, guys. Tom Selkscoat said, everyone pray for Nike. Nike's actually in the bar chart news today. Kwame said, JJ, can you ask Grok when the new defense bill could be approved? Yes, I absolutely can. When do you think the new defense bill could be put into law? It's, what is it? It's some ridiculous amount of money, isn't it? 2.2 trillion. Pairs defense boost, agency cuts, hang on. 901 billion, fiscal year 2026. 1.5 trillion. The new 1.5 trillion could be put into law. All right, let's just see what Grok says just with that simple question. 88 said LOL. We got 8 votes on the current poll. Okay. Should we end it and do a new one? Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. What stocks are down tremendously? We're going to end the current poll. I asked you guys, do you think we're about to experience a proper real estate bubble pop? 56% of you guys said yes, long overdue. Let's go. Let's go. Excuse me. 22% said yes, not that bad though, by design. 11% said no, too strong, and 11% said no, own nothing and be happy, peasant. Next poll. Start poll. Pick one to go all in for the remainder of the year. You got Nvidia, you got Tesla, you got Apple, and you got Google. Or should we do Meta? Let's do Meta. Bam. What if I said, what happened at deadline? Trump just extended because he's full of it? He said he didn't feel right doing it the day after Easter. Flight fan said you have to let Grok know that we're in a war at the moment. Then he'll mention the fast tracking. Oh, I think Grok will figure it out. Excuse me. New. OpenAI and Anthropic report rising costs for training advanced AI models per Wall Street Journal. You know what's hilarious to me? Look at how much OpenAI projects they're going to be spending compared to Anthropic. And Anthropic is very clearly the superior product. We are literally witnessing, in my opinion, OpenAI is like Meta. They have a way broader net, and it's just kind of like really crappy, in my opinion, the boomer AI. Anthropic has seen what everyone else did. They fine-tuned it. They made it way more efficient, way better. And this is the result. This is the very obvious result. Anthropic, we did Maduro in a day, 0 casualties. OpenAI, we did Iran. It's been over a month. There's been plenty of casualties. And we just had to rescue 2 pilots. So, what if I said, why is Anthropic better? It's just everything that I've seen is better about it. OpenAI is very much like I don't even know what to call it. OpenAI to me, what's a good metaphor? OpenAI is public transport. Anthropic is like a Shelby Cobra. Just like a beautiful, like, ooh, it sounds, it feels way better, amazing. Everything about it is fine-tuned and like perfected for that specific function. OpenAI gets the job done. What if I said I invested in OpenAI? I mean, I don't think that you're going to have any trouble with your investment unless the AI bubble pops. If OpenAI goes down, I think they all go down. That's what I mean. Where I think OpenAI is definitely like the Lion King share, whereas Anthropic is, in my opinion, the better product. But because they don't have first mover advantage, they're not going to be as big as OpenAI. I think they'd be hilarious if they lapped them, but it is what it is. Cointelegraph posted strategy bought 4,871 Bitcoin for 329.9 million. They now hold 766,970 Bitcoin. Dude, if they get to 1 million, that would be so sick. Tom Salkscote said Tesla gonna be the Mag 6 soon after today's news. What was today's news? Big $4 trillion JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon recognizes fintechs, AI players, and blockchain-based systems as emerging competitors to traditional banks. Womp womp. JY's Adventure said, good night, chat. How you doing, JY's Adventure? Another day, another dollar. Yes, sir. Just in, Bitmine Immersion Tech buys 71,252 Ethereum, brings total to 4.803 million ETH, now holds 3.98% of Ethereum supply. This is crazy. I can't believe there's an entity out there that holds over 1% of the supply of like a top 2 cryptocurrency. That's crazy. China's tax authority urges banks to use blockchain to boost SME lending and reduce information gaps. That's actually a big deal. Hopefully they don't ban cryptocurrency again, but I think that we're beyond that headline really making a difference at this point. BlackRock files to launch the iShares Nasdaq 100 ETF under ticker IQQ. Very cute. Insight, over 50% of XRP supply is an unrealized loss, reports Glassnode. That sucks. Does not surprise me, though. Strive bought 113 Bitcoin, raising holdings to 13,791. Again, there's a disconnection when you do crypto for so long, and you see Michael Saylor buying billions a day, and then I see this, I'm like, oh, they only bought 113 Bitcoin? They only have $920 million worth of Bitcoin? That's so much money, bro. What are you talking about? There's a huge like malfunction in my brain now between like the value of money and headlines. It's messed me up permanently. Just in, U.S. Treasury taps BNY Mellon and Robinhood to help manage Trump accounts per Wall Street Journal. Very cool. Tom Salkshow said Discord. Last 2 posts I put there. One about housing market and one about Tesla today. Kwame said, I remember when China news used to move the market. I remember when any news used to move the market. I guess it does now. It's just all strictly Trump news. Real estate bubble gonna pop any day? Oh, dude, I would crap my pants if the real estate bubble popped soon. Like, for real. Is this an article? What is this? We got this from Mr. Tom Selleck-Scope. We also got this lovely Jamie Dimon X-Post. One at a time, though. Guys, don't forget to smash the like button. Share the stream if you can. U.S. housing price returns since 1950. 1950 used to lose money. I've been seeing a lot more people waking up to the investment thing with real estate. They're like, when you buy a house to be an investment, you lose. Buy it to live in it, to create memories. And I'm like, I like that because that means that I can hopefully get a house soon. But it is what it is. What if I said, what about Tesla? James DePore. Bad name. Bad last name. Very unfortunate. A very ugly Tesla downgrade. JP Morgan cuts Tesla's estimates, sees 60% share downside. JP Morgan reduced estimates for Tesla following the Q1 deliveries report. The deliveries missed expectations, while Tesla's energy storage installations of 8.8 gigawatt hour also surprised by falling 15% year over year. The analyst tells investors in a research note, JP Morgan keeps an underweight rating on the shares with a $145 price target. The firm continues to see 60% downside to its December 2026 price target and advises investors to approach Tesla shares with a high degree of caution. The stock price is in materially stronger distant out year earnings expectations, contends JP Morgan. Okay. 88 said that theory is wrong, the housing one. Okay, well, I don't want to hear your opinion. I'm just kidding. Let me hear it. U.S. housing price return since 1950. 2025, 1.7%. I guess I don't see how this is the bubble popping. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm getting analysis paralysis. 2007 1.7. Oh, ooh! I see it now. I see it. I see it. I see it. Hopefully, 1.7% in 2006, 2007 is minus 5.4. We are at 1.7% in 2025. So this year it should be minus 5.4. I just want a house, man. All right. Next, big Ethereum staking nears 32% of total supply, with 38.5 million ETH locked. Very cool. 88 said, well, on housing, not much to say. You want to pay for a house or want the renter to pay for your house? Simple as that. I don't know what that means. What's the theory? Waterfly said, when Tesla is building 20% of robots, the analyst dies. That analyst dies. Tom Southcote said, it was a joke. I'm being sarcastic. It's never popping. Look at those returns. Just buy a house and it goes up. Okay, that's not funny. That's a bad joke. You guys are mean. Cointelegraph posted, IMF says global imbalances are driven by domestic saving and investment, not tariffs or industrial policy. What? Coordinated policy shifts across economies are needed to rebalance growth. Coordinated policy shifts across economies are needed to rebalance growth. Okay. 88 said, theories a rental home isn't worth it, but one to live in is, but it's wrong. Oh. Okay. I don't know if that's what I was saying. I think that the people are just criticizing people that buy houses as investments for moral reasons. Update, Bitcoin has a 50% chance of reclaiming 75K this month per Polymarket data. Very cool. Strategy reports 14.46 billion unrealized loss on Bitcoin in Q1 2026, partially offset by tax credits. Polymarket announces full exchange upgrade with new trading engine and smart contracts. Very cool. This dude looks like he looks like a 50-year-old college student. Chairman Michael Selig, I believe it's the CFTC. Chairman Michael Selig says court ruling it reinforces CFTC's exclusive jurisdiction over DCM trades. Update, Sam Altman says AI is advancing too fast for current policy. A new social contract is required in the U.S. Just go away. Leave the United States, Mr. Altman. You are a creepy weirdo. Nobody likes your weird little face. Peter Sniff says holding too much cash is a mistake. Arguing a weakening dollar will support stocks while favoring gold and foreign equities over U.S. markets. Is that why gold is dumping tremendously on your chest, Mr. Sniff? Is that why? Bullish. JP Morgan projects tokenized real-world assets market could reach 13 trillion by 2030. That's happening no matter what, for sure. Latest Tesla stock slides 2.3% on JP Morgan EPS cut. Alert. This one's crazy. Researcher Taylor Monahan says North Korean IT workers have infiltrated over 40 DeFi platforms over the past 7 years. One of these is KuCoin. This is in 2017 through 2021. This happened in 2020. Phishing / plus credential theft. They stole $280 million. So that right there is actually the reason why I chose KuCoin as my exchange of choice in 2021 when I finally left Voyager, is because this happened. They stopped it. They fixed the problem, and then they replaced all of the stolen funds that fast. No one even knew that it had occurred. I think a year later or several months later, they came out and they said, "Listen, guys, we had a breach in 2020." And we like made the funds whole in everyone's accounts out of our own pocket because it was our fault. We just want to be transparent and let you guys know that there was funds stolen, and we took responsibility for it and replaced all the funds that were gone. And I thought that was huge because everybody else tries to sweep it under the rug and then they lie about it, and it's all crazy, just insanity. Mega heists, WazerX, Bybit, largest ever, 2025, $1.5 billion. That's crazy. Bit refill, an undisclosed amount in 2026. Compromised employee laptop. Damn, that's crazy. 18,500 customer records exposed. Hot wallets drained. Wow. And Drift Protocol, most recently, 285 million. Fake collateral plus durable nonce. I don't know what that means. I know that they had physical like meetings. They had a group, I believe, of women posing as I don't know, people wanting to partner, and they had like deposited $1 million and stuff like that. It was crazy. It was crazy. Bybit replaced it too, eh? Probably. I'm sure. Laundered to Bitcoin within 30 days. Entry point. Yeah, I'm sure Bybit, right? I'm sure all of them did, but the KuCoin one back in 2020 is what made me choose KuCoin over other exchanges, because nobody else had really had anything like that happen and handled it that way before. Usually if an exchange gets hacked, they just close their doors. Stake.com, really? 2023? Atomic Wallet. Dude, a wallet is the worst. Application vulnerability. I remember Ronin Bridge, too. That was a big deal. Man. Be safe out there, guys. Be safe. You got to diversify your wallets, too, unfortunately. Senator Bill Hagerty says the Senate Banking Committee could advance a crypto market structure bill as early as April. There's actually rumors right now that it's been all confirmed behind closed doors. So, 88 said, all morally bad to supply decent homes to people in need, not a housing shortage going on or nothing. I get it, LOL. Morally, well, how are you supplying decent homes to people in need at the same price that they would pay for their mortgage, or even more in most cases? And the reason housing is so high is because everyone and their brothers buying 2, 3, 4, 5 homes and renting them out for more than what they pay for their mortgage, because that rental payment, remember, pays for your mortgage. So it has to be higher than what you're paying for your mortgage. That's, I mean, I'm not faulting anybody, but morally, that could be seen as a little morally gray area. Just saying. Okay. They don't got the 100K to put down, sir? You're right. How are they going to have 100K to put down, though, if you're charging them more? Crypto sentiment hits one of its highest greed levels in months, signaling continued optimism, even as markets often move against the crowd. Is it morally wrong for Uber to make money off people that can't afford cars? Are they charging more than the car payment per ride? I think it's morally wrong for Uber to not give the drivers enough money. I think the drivers don't get paid enough at all. So here's my counter offer for the moral obligation as far as the house goes. Let's say you get a mortgage. Your mortgage is $2,000 a month. You're charging $2,500 a month to rent the house out. Morally, you're getting the house for free and you're getting $500 extra a month. Why don't you just charge them $2,000 a month? Or $2,100 a month, whatever your extra maintenance costs and whatever. Why do you have to make money off of them? They're already paying for your mortgage and you get to keep the house. Once the house is paid off too, then that's just pure profit. So, I don't know. I'm just saying. Okay. Let's go back to our Grok question. The $1.5 trillion defense proposal is President Trump's fiscal year 2027 budget request, starting October 1st, 2026, not a bill that has already been introduced or passed. It was formally released by the White House on April 3rd, 2026, just a few days ago. We don't really care what it breaks down as. Short term, House Appropriations Committee, full committee action. Okay, scheduled to begin as early as April 17th. Markups late April or May. Republicans have already signaled they are moving forward. Reconciliation bill. Okay. Medium, summer, fall 2026. Reconciliation passed. Mid to late summer 2026. Main defense bill. Late summer or fall 2026. Full appropriations. Current funding expires September 30th. So they want to get it done before then, right? My best estimate, as early as July through September 2026, full package is most likely to clear Congress and be signed by October to December 2026. In time or shortly after fiscal year 2027 begins, changes are almost certain. Congress rarely passes the president's request exactly as written, but Republican Armed Services chairs have already called it a historic investment and pledged to work toward passage. So, defense stocks, probably not a bad buy. 88 said, why would you not be allowed to make a percent? Nobody said you're not allowed to. Most landlords don't cash flow. It's more the asset house that built equity for them. Kwame said Q4. Yeah, it seems like Q4 for sure. Big money market funds hit all-time high of 8.2 trillion. Poly market traders are pricing just a 16% chance that AI bubble bursts by the end of 2026. 88 said, I think the big barrier into homes is interest rate there. The stress test hurts. Oh, interest rates are awful. I refuse to buy a house right now with interest rates the way that they are. If I can double the amount of home that I can afford just by interest rates going down like 1 or 2%, then I'm going to wait. And if I end up waiting forever, then that sucks. It is what it is. In the meantime, I'm, saving up for a stupid-ass down payment. If I have to pay for the house cash and I got to wait 10 years, that sucks ass, but that's got to be the way that it is. Unfortunately, that's a piss-poor world that the fucking fat-ass retard president that we currently have has built for us. So, thank you, President Trump. A new CloudWards report. What the hell is that? That's an awful name. Ranks countries with the least internet freedom, highlighting strict online restrictions across parts of Asia and Eurasia. China, India, Russia, Turkey, Pakistan, North Korea. Wow, North Korea has more internet freedom than China and Russia? Hello? That's insane. Are you kidding me? Bangladesh, Turkmenistan, and Myanmar. 88 said, here a 5-year fixed is like under 4%. Are you in Canada? I don't remember. You guys do like chunks, don't you? And it sounded really nice, actually. Gold trading volume. Oh, yeah, we read this earlier. Basically, gold is higher than anything right now. Latest, Bitcoin's 30-day average transaction fees have dropped to 2.5 Bitcoin per day, the lowest level since 2011, signaling weak on-chain demand. What does it have to be, I'm curious? Because once all of the Bitcoin is mined, the transaction fee is going to be what sustains the miners to, like, that's going to be what incentivizes the miners to maintain the network. I'm curious as to what that would have to be just at the current price, or what the price would have to get to at the current fees of 2.5 Bitcoin per day in order for Bitcoin mining to maintain just no profits. Yes, Vancouver, I think people lose by waiting to buy till they have more money. They are missing the asset going up. The interest rates outpacing my ability to buy though. So I either need to make a shit ton of money out of fucking nowhere, or I can wait. I have no choice. I literally have no choice. That's why the average age of first-time homebuyer is like fucking 45 right now. Just in, this is a creepy-looking dude. Bo Hines says Tether is the stable company that will usher in the next evolution of finance, adding that it's just the beginning. Okay, he looks so creepy. Only 6 out of 41 token sales since 2025 are profitable, with most projects down sharply post-launch, according to Messari data. I'm 50-50 on Messari. They've reported stuff incorrectly in the past, and instead of correcting it, they just remove that information entirely. We got OMFG, Avicii, FF, Umbra, 2Z, RNGR, I think are the only profitable ones. Barely. That's crazy. What the heck? Are these all meme coins? Eat? I've heard of none of these. Literally heard of 0 of these. Token sales? That's crazy. Sooner a person gets into a home, the better in all ways. Stability for the family, financially, security-wise, etc. Good hair, though? He does have good hair. That's for sure. Hairline? Hairline's okay. I'm a widow's peak guy. I used to have a beautiful widow's peak. One day I will show you guys what I look like with hair. One day. It was pretty brilliant. I guess you could go look at my stupid Trump skit. That's what I look like with Trump hair. 99.9% are missing. Okay, this is Mark Chadwick. the man, the myth, the legend. 99.9% are missing the most obvious signals that crypto is about to explode. The Fed just started expansion again for the first time in years, and global M2 ripping to new highs. This is the signal. When central bank balance sheets turn up, global M2 follows. Liquidity floods the system. Literally every time that happens, crypto goes vertical. Last cycle, 2020 to 2021. Bitcoin 4K to 69K, 1600%. Alts 10x to 100x are normal. Fed injecting again. Treasury buybacks record 15 billion. T-bill purchases at 381 billion. PMI back in expansion. Global M2 breaking out. They're not calling it QE, but the effect is the same. This cycle won't look like the last one. It'll be bigger. He should have said even bigger there. But hell yeah, I'm ready. United States Central Bank balance sheet and M2 money supply. Very cool. MSB Intel breaking. Trump announces historic military budget expansion. Defense spending surge signals major sector support. That's a lot of S's. UBS identifies beaten down defense stocks recovery potential. Just in, prediction market prices Alberta acquisition odds. Polymarket 11% probability reflects U.S.-Canada territorial expansion, tensions, geopolitical shift. I feel like this one's a weird distraction, kind of like Greenland as well. Greenland seems like a weird distraction that nobody gives a shit about. Crypto Fergani, everyone's favorite segment. Let's get into character. I'm sorry. The next 3 to 6 months will be life-changing. Altcoins will explode. Shakeout. That's a lot of shakeout. There's a lot going on there. Breakout. Alt season. I'm just gonna draw shapes on my chart and write words and put arrows. I guess that's technically TA. Okay. Crypto Fergani. Take profits from meme coins. Split it. Half to Bitcoin, half to cash. Use that cash to buy real estate. Rent it out and use the income to stack more Bitcoin. Repeat. Print money, buy Bitcoin. Are you listening? Epic. Gold. Why are we on gold? Bitcoin is, it's a little indecisive. 68,757. 88 said, to be honest, I'm surprised you are not looking at it from the other position as throwing rent money away, like leasing a car, kind of, though. So where I am right now, my rent is cheap. It's significantly cheaper than what it would be if I had a mortgage. And with that, I can put money away. I don't want to buy a house and then lose a house. You know what I mean? So I know I'm being extra cautious, but again, there's not a lot of houses available within my budget. The ones that are available, the interest rate makes it was perfect. It was perfect for a week. So I'm at a point now where I'm just saving up a shit ton, as much money as possible, and I'm just gonna put down a big fat ass down payment. That's literally the best I can do, unless some money magically appears in my lap, which is going to be one of these dumbass investments. I hope. But, yeah, it's all just a waiting game. I can move in the middle of fucking nowhere in a crack den, or I can wait. Alright, next. Mr. Crypto Fergani. Cup and handle bullish pattern on altcoins. Altcoins will send 10 to 100x within the next 6 months. This isn't the end. This is the calm before the chaos. I'll keep you updated on everything like I always do. Many people will wish they followed me sooner. So now we got a cup and handle with a breakout. This is crypto total market cap excluding Bitcoin. So total 2 week. There's no way that's breaking out right now. Is total 2 breaking out? See, this is what concerns me, is are these people just fabricating shit? No. Breaking out on the weekly. Is he showing this? I think he's just showing this. He's not showing that at all. That's Very deeply upsetting. Crypto Fergani is presenting falsified information. What? Okay, moving on. They want to shake you out right before altcoins go parabolic. Don't fall for it. There wasn't a lot of big ones. Let me see if there's a big one. We like the big ones. The ones where we got to kind of take a step back. And is this one? This one's okay. Let's do this one. Okay. The next 6 to 10 months will feel like a money printer. Bitcoin will break all-time high, then ETH will follow. Billions will flood into the mid and low caps. Alts and memes will send 10x to 100x. Total crypto market cap is heading for 8 to 10 trillion. Just hold. Whales will try to shake you out. Don't fall for it. The real money is in patience. Alt season and meme season are locked in. BlackRock isn't getting our bags cheap. Bitcoin to 200k to 300k is inevitable. Like this tweet, and I'll share the alts and memes I'm buying. Follow me so you don't miss it. Hell yeah. Okay. Midas. DeFi Midas posted breaking. BlackRock sold 3,000 Bitcoin, 20,000 ETH ahead of the US futures open. Do they know something? This is, again, I think this is unfortunately that nothing burger thing. Whether they're buying or selling, I think it's the customers, man. Bookmark it. 88 said, no one wants to be house broke. Buying homes is all in the buy. Well, if you put it that way, sir, please wait. Doubt the wife would like the crack house. I don't know if I'd be able to mortgage the crack house. It's the problem. The crack house is not mortgageable. Trending Bitcoin posted, Sailor said Bitcoin is going to 10x in 4 to 8 years and hit 10 million in 20 years. Send it. I like that we're just blindly following Sailor now. Trending Bitcoin posted this yesterday. I don't remember if we looked at this or not, but I really like it. And I think we might have, because I remember zooming way the heck in to try to look at it. And he kind of, the power curve trend line, he does a little copy paste situation and projects it out into the future. There's 4-year gaps, so the 4-year cycle intact setup is still there, so Ben Cowan can freak out about it if he wants to. He can have his little plausible deniability kind of setup, but we are looking at a potential top before the end of the year, which is pretty beautiful. I think we did look at this yesterday. Looking at an average possibility of $200,000, which would be freaking hilarious. Keep in mind, the 4-year cycle, going from 2010 to 2014, 2018, 2022, 2026, we're looking at a peak. Which I think I joked about the other day. I was like, wouldn't that be really funny if this is what played out? And honest to God, if this does play out, I think it would be so hilarious. Just to kind of rub the dirt in to all these pissy little 4-year cycle maxis. If it's something like this, or hang on. No. I gotta calm down. Right there, kind of, I think. Yeah, come on. This would be so freaking funny to me. If it was like this, and we had number 1, and then number 2 comes up going to January, or even just November, January, that would be so funny. Because everyone's insisting, even still, that we're going to bottom in October. Everybody. So, I don't know. Just makes me laugh. 88 said, are they real people, you think? I hope so. Otherwise, the bots... Fergani being a bot would make me sad. I wouldn't want to know. I would want nobody to tell me. And if you guys find out, don't let me know. I hope that this is a real person, because I think they're hilarious. If it's a bot, then they're boring. Okay, anyways, Bitcoin LFG posted $7.1 trillion Fidelity Investment says money is shifting from gold to Bitcoin. Hell yeah. I think we actually heard about that a couple days ago. Eric Trump said he thinks Bitcoin will surpass $1 million and Q4 of this year will be unbelievable, which means Q4 is probably going to suck ass because I'm pretty sure he said that last year. Bitcoin Archive, a solo Bitcoin miner with a small setup just hit the jackpot, earning 3.139 Bitcoin block rewards worth $210,000. His setup was so small, he should statistically win once every 76 years. That's pretty cool. So if you 4x his setup, I don't know how small it is, but in theory, if you 4x his setup, then technically he should win every 19 years, which 210K every 19 years seems pretty damn good. Luring in retail, right? I mean, he's doing a piss poor job at it. Look at nothing's really happened. Can we get a little more retail luring? Can they put Baron on it? I feel like Baron is way more likable. Probably Market posted 12 trillion Charles Schwab to launch Schwab Crypto. That's such an ugly word, Schwab. Allowing users to trade Bitcoin and Ethereum. Shanawaz Big Dot 50 posted, no one believes in alt season anymore. And then there's this chart. Altcoins season 2026 will be epic. I smell their money printer will be huge. What is happening? The language barrier here is crazy. I'm warning you that life-changing wealth is about to come. It's not about just fun anymore. It's about when most people can't comprehend it. The disbelief in alts you see today is doubt. The disbelief you'll see later is shock. The masses do not see this. When I look at the business cycle that the US dollar is doing, what Trump is doing, the stimulus that's coming after years of prolonged draining, the new Fed chair, institutional interest in crypto, retail distributing big money, the Clarity Act, etc., understand that. And you beat 95% of investors. You all deserve what's about to happen. If you still haven't followed me, you'll regret it. I gotta start doing this, man. This guy's got 20,000 followers. Come on, man. If you still haven't followed me, guys, if you still haven't subscribed, you're gonna regret it. I'm gonna be really problematic about it. If you haven't subscribed, you'll regret it. How's your mother? Tell her I said hi. It's like taking it completely the wrong direction. All right, guys. Seriously, though, subscribe. Today's crypto fear and greed, according to CoinMarketCap, is 36. Yesterday it was 35. I'm pretty sure that's the same as it was yesterday, but we'll take it. We're still in fear. CoinGlass is in extreme fear at 12, and the stock market fear and greed is at 23, which is extreme fear. If you guys want to be a degenerate gambler, sign up with Kalshi with my link in the description. And deposit and trade with $25 or more, and we'll both receive $25 in non-withdrawable site credit. The top 10 looks the same as it did yesterday. Still really concerned with Solana and Tron right there, but we'll see what happens. Let's get back to it. Cup Crypto Cupra posted, bottom is in. Bitcoin will never trade below 50K again. Mark my words. Everyone is bearish right now. That's when Bitcoin does the unthinkable. 150,000 this cycle for Bitcoin and 10 to 100x for altcoins in average. And people are not ready. Parabolic pumps soon. That would be so sick, dude. I actually really like this fractal too. We are on like a big banana curve kind of situation. So I would not be surprised if we went to 190K. And that would be that 126 to 190 is not a 2x, so 70 to 126 to 190, that diminishing returns is still in play. So, I don't know, man. Bear market might be diminishing time-wise as well. Bar chart posted, Japan's 10-year yield hits highest level since 1999. USM2 money supply jumps to a new all-time high of 22.7 trillion. Let's freaking go. It's been a while since we've asked Grok some basic silly questions. Do you think there or let me ask when. When do you think there will be a proper alt season for crypto? Just simple blanket question. Apartment rental prices, here you go, 88. Apartment rental prices declined 1.7% over the 12-month period ending in March, the largest annual decline ever recorded. There you go. I'm just saying. Did your rental price go down 1.7%? I'm gonna spit my drink out. Okay. Just in, private credit losses will be larger than previously feared, warns Jamie Dimon. See, this right here leads me to think that he's full of shit. Why would he tell anybody ever? You usually do the opposite of what they're telling you. I feel like private credit is going to be totally fine. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's actually giving a proper warning. Maybe he suddenly is morally obligated to warn everybody. But something tells me he's full of crap. Hedge funds are now bullish on wheat for the first time since 2022. Damn, sandwiches are about to cost more. Oh, who earlier said that they were from Michigan? Real to true, if you're watching this later, or you're here still, if you're ever in the Detroit area, I believe it's on 14 Mile, Ventimiglia's. Go in there, get an Italian sub, thank me later. Next, gold destroying the stock market this century. 88 said, do the right thing. Nah, but the house went up 6%. Did your rent go up 6% too, fucker? We are top-notch landlords, I can assure you. Okay. Bar chart posted, gold destroying the stock market this century. This is actually kind of hilarious, I'm not going to lie. Tell him JJ sent you. 88, if you're ever hiring a handyman and you provide room and board, I don't know what board means. If you provide a damn house or a unit, let me know. Maybe I'll move out there. My fiance does like Canada. Okay. Let's continue. Breaking. Nike falls to lowest closing price in more than 15 years. Horrendous. That is pretty horrendous. I guess I don't really see the appeal in buying Nike even. I guess obviously when it was doing good, you just buy it because the number is going up, you know. But what was the trade there? Like, are they going to make better clothes? Are they going to get more popular? People are slowly realizing that nobody gives a shit. Or that there's so many clothes out there still that exist that, like, you can just thrift for the rest of your life. Never need to buy brand new clothes ever again. I don't know. Nike falling is kind of hilarious to me. Milk hits highest price since August. I actually bought a gallon of milk today. Is it $18.50? I didn't spend that much. I don't know what the hell that is. I think it's the same price that it's been for like 10 years. United Health are ripping. They got a big boost from, I don't know. They got a big boost from something. Kwame said, we buy shoes on TikTok now, right? Yeah, that's true. That's true. We got them Alibaba shoes from TikTok. We got our coin fashions for the evening. Everyone I met who was successful in crypto from 2017 or before either lost all their money holding coins for the blow off top that never came, or made peace with the fact that the game is too hard now and moved to Southeast Asia to live off their 7 figures on interest. Being a wormhole staker is the worst. I don't know. I felt bad while I was reading this. Started staking in 2024, bad decision. Down 99% since day one and still holding for those tiny rewards. That is, so unfortunately that's a very common structured scheme in the space. They will sell you this thing for this amount of money. They sell you X amount of these things. And then you still have X amount and you're earning Y every month or whatever, which is slightly less than X. X is greater than Y, but you're earning that. Now the dollar amount is continuing to get smaller and smaller and smaller, and then you can't even tell. But you're still earning more of X. You're building X and Y. Very cool. The dollar amount's pretty much worthless. But you have a shit ton of XYZ coin. Right? If the dollar amount goes up, imagine how much money you'll have. Wait until it gets back to this all-time high. It's never going to. And for some reason, I guess not for some reason, that just happens to be a common trap that new people fall into in this space, and it's very unfortunate. They just extract liquidity. They being the people who probably own a good chunk of the coin, and they get you to stake, and you either lock it up, or the other trick is you're earning the same dollar amount, but there's a selling tax where you go to sell, and you're basically losing like between 1 and 50% of your investment on the sell tax, and it's all structured and automated for you to lose money. Like if you put in $100 and you get 50 back, that's $50 in their pocket. You know what I mean? Even if you're like, I gotta get out now, and you take out, then that's $50 guaranteed in their pocket. I'm not saying hold, but the second you are on that hook, you are not getting off. It's pretty much game over. That's why you can't throw all of your money at stuff like that. If you want to gamble, that's totally fine, but treat it like a gamble. You get your little allotted amount, you go spend it, and then your big boy stuff is at home, not being extracted by, you know, the leeches in the space. I made $63 million going degen with leverage from 2017 to 2024 and have lost 60 of it since Trump's inauguration. Take it out. If you have $3 million, take it out. Just leave 100K in, dude. Take 2.9 million out of the market. Not a financial advisor, but damn, that's so much money. That's so much money. 88 said, clothing's crazy, suckers. I'm just saying, JJ, I'm an older fella. If you only toss 100K into the S&P or NAS in 20 to 25 years, you'll be set. And so will the kids. All the extra monies you make in between is the fun monies. Yeah. You gotta have 100K to toss, though. ALX posted, this is hilarious. I'm gonna let you guys listen to it because I was dying earlier. Trump is literally shit-talking Biden to the kids at the Easter egg roll.
Biden would use the auto pen. He'd have an auto pen problem. Joe Biden, he didn't sign. He was incapable of signing. He said, so they'd follow him around with this big machine, you know what it was called? An auto pen. And he'd have the auto pen signed for him. He'd take the paper, hand it to his guys, and sign it with an auto pen, give it back. Not too good, right?
That's so freaking funny. He does not know how to interact with children. He's just talking shit. That is so funny, dude. We have a knockoff Kobayashi letter, the Hormuz letter. Iran is organizing nationwide human chains of youth, athletes, and artists at every power plant in the country at 2 p.m. Tehran time tomorrow, per Iran's Ministry of Sports and Youth. The campaign is named Human Chain of Iranian Youth for a Bright Future. Its slogan, attacking public infrastructure is a war crime. Its slogan, kill our kids. I don't care what message you're trying to send. This is the dumbest shit you could ever do. Why would you ever put anyone in that position? Like, I understand what they're trying to do, but you've seen the current landscape of things, and you're like, well, what if our kids die? Then it's gonna look really bad. Your kids still die, bro. What? Hello? I don't get it. International signage will be displayed for global media coverage. At least 2,000 NGO members are confirmed. The chains formed 13 hours before Trump's 8 p.m. Eastern Time strike deadline. Iran is gathering civilians at the exact infrastructure the U.S. has threatened and televising it to the world. That means, you know what's really funny? God, I'm starting to think like one of them. What if we bomb other places? And we're like, well, we made sure that all the artists, all of the sport people, all of the like young kids, all of the people that we don't want dead are away from these places, so we're gonna go bomb these places now. That's crazy. Blockchain Brew said, JJ, smash the like button, everyone. Appreciate you, Blockchain Brew. Happy Monday, my friends. 88 said, doesn't mean you won't make $1 million or $5 million in tokens along the way, but that stable 100K investment will be the best one. Yeah, I got to be a DCA guy, man. I don't have 100K. If I had 100K, I'd have a house. But yeah, I get it. Kobe SE letter posted, federal government workforce is shrinking at a historic pace. The federal government shed, 18,000 jobs in March, down to 2.66 million, the lowest since 1966. This marks the 14th consecutive monthly decline. Since the beginning of 2025, the federal government has cut 352,000 jobs, reducing its workforce by nearly 12%. As a percent of total employment, federal jobs are down to 1.67%, the lowest on record. By comparison, in the 1960s, this percentage averaged 4.2%. The federal workforce has never been this small. Good. The government should not be getting as much money. If that's the case, we should have more money going home with us. Iran urges young people to shield power plants with humid chains as U.S. President Trump threatens airstrike. Yeah, this is insane to me. I'm sorry. I don't care what side you're on. This is fucking stupid. Just to hear, come kill our kids. This one cracked me up. I'm going to buy the Bitcoin bottom in October 2026. Literally everyone right now. All following Ben Cowan. That Donald and the kid post was funny. Dude, I can't believe that. It is funny. It's funny, but it's so crazy. He's like, Biden would have used AutoPen. All right, last but not least, 2 hours ago, we got Kobe SE letter. Iran has delivered its highly anticipated 10-point response to the U.S. 15-point peace plan. 1, guarantee that Iran will not be attacked again. 2, permanent end to the war, not just a ceasefire. 3, end to Israeli strikes in Lebanon. 4, lifting of all U.S. sanctions on Iran. 5, end to all regional fighting against Iranian allies. 6, in return, Iran would open the Strait of Hormuz. 7, Iran would impose a Hormuz fee of $2 million per ship. 8, Iran would split these fees with Oman. 9, Iran to provide rules for safe passage through Hormuz. And 10, Iran to use Hormuz fees for reconstruction instead of reparations. President Trump's deadline for a peace deal with Iran is 25 hours away. Honest to God, this actually does not sound as horrible as I was expecting it to sound. I think $2 million per ship is... that seems a little crazy to me. Maybe it's not. Maybe they make a shit ton of money bringing ships through there. I think it's smart of them to include Lebanon and Oman in it as like beneficiaries, especially considering I'm pretty sure that they've like bombed like everybody around them. I don't know if it's going to be that cut and dry though, because right now this is all very much one-sided. Because there are other countries in the Gulf that have been bombed by Iran that have received nothing. They've done nothing and they've received nothing. So I'm just saying, there's probably going to have to be a compromise somewhere. Hopefully they're open to a compromise. But yeah, it's not as bad as I was expecting. I was expecting some crazy shit, but it's actually somewhat reasonable. Yeah, not bad at all. Okay. I asked Grok, when do you think there will be a proper alt season for crypto? Grok said a proper alt season where most altcoins sustainably outperform Bitcoin in a broad multi-month rotation, typically confirmed when 75% plus of top alts beat Bitcoin over 90 days, isn't here yet as of April 2026, and the data points to it being delayed rather than imminent. Current market, we know. Historical patterns, usually sub 55% on Bitcoin dominance. It's currently sitting at 59. Testing as well. Capital rotation after Bitcoin consolidates or peaks. Liquidity surge. Rate cuts, stimulus, ETF inflow spilling over. Sentiment shift from fear to greed in extremes. In past 2017-2021, the real monster alt rounds came 12 to 18 months after Bitcoin's initial leg up. Once the market was flush with new money chasing higher beta plays, the current cycle, 2024 halving, followed a similar script. Bitcoin had its move through 2025. We're now in a consolidation rotation waiting phase. Bullish camp, early 2026 forecast. Some charts, Alt-BTC pairs show multi-year patterns that could mirror past explosive rotations, potentially making 2026 one of the biggest alt seasons ever if it ignites. AI models and some analysts still eye strong gains for ETH, Sol, XRP, etc. later this year. Bearish, realistic camp. More recent takes, prominent voices like Matthew Hyland argue that there will be no classic alt season in 2026 because altcoin dominance historically takes 2 to 3 years to recover from cycle lows, likely bottomed around late 2025. Earliest realistic window, 27 to 28. Others say late 2026 at the absolute soonest. Consensus from recent data, March, April 2026. We're still waiting. Any alt season talk right now is mostly hopium or short-term sector pumps, not that broad. Sustained, one people mean by proper. My take, when I think mid to late 2026, Q3, Q4 is the earliest plausible window for the real thing to start, with a full-blown rotation possibly spilling into early 2027. Why? Bitcoin dominance needs time to crack lower sustainably. Macro liquidity, Fed policy, global risk appetite is still the wild card. If we get more rate relief or stimulus, money will eventually chase alts. The cycle math simply hasn't aligned yet for the classic Bitcoin ETH mid caps, memes, low caps flood. That said, crypto is chaotic. We could see sector-specific mini rotations, AI coins, DeFi, real-world assets, etc., flare up sooner, but a proper broad alt season where random low caps 10 to 100x while Bitcoin chills, that usually requires the conditions above to line up, and they're not there today. Bottom line, don't chase the narrative. Watch Bitcoin dominance, the altcoin season index, and total altcoin market cap versus Bitcoin for actual confirmation. The biggest opportunities often come when sentiment is this muted. But timing it perfectly is tough. Stay patient, focus on fundamentals, and size positions responsibly. This isn't financial advice. Markets can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. I like it. Grok straight up plagiarizing. Great quotes. HQZ said, "Oh, what is everyone hyped on today?" Absolutely nothing. I'm hyped on Friday. I'm hyped on not going to work on Saturday and Sunday. 88 said, "So if you held the Nasdaq 100, your poll would be win-win, eh?" Yeah. The current poll. NVIDIA. We got 10 votes. I'm going to end the current poll. Ladies and gentlemen, I asked you guys, pick one to go all in on for the remainder of the year. 50% of you guys said NVIDIA, 20% said Tesla, 20% said Apple, and 10% said Meta. We got a total of 10 votes. Very cool. Bitcoin 68, 456 and 72 cents. Yeah, man, market's quiet. Look at Avalanche. Jeez. What is going on with this thing? I feel like if I open up a short, they're going to pass the Clarity Act tomorrow, and the war is going to end, and Trump's going to send everybody a $10,000 stimulus check, and I'm going to get insta-liquidated. I'm going to wake up, and I'm going to not qualify for the stimulus. Interest rates are going to go up, and my coins are all going to rug, except for the one that I shorted is going to go to, like, a $1 trillion market cap. Dixie said one raffle. I'm not sure. I still don't know how I'm going to do it. Kwame said, "Please open a short." Should I do it for the culture? See, if it was going to bounce too, it would bounce off of 50. Damn it. I think we're going to get a peace deal tomorrow. I do. Let's actually have that be the next poll. Do you think we see a peace deal / ceasefire tomorrow? Yes. No other option. No. Trump will bomb them all. Kwame said, "No risk, no reward." That's fair. All right, current poll, ladies and gentlemen. Do you think we see a peace deal / ceasefire tomorrow? We got yes, no other option, or no, Trump will bomb them all. You have no other options as well. I could have given you no, but Trump will taco. But that's not an option. Let's see what happens. Bitcoin is breaking down, though. 68,409 on the current price. Gold, silver. What price do you think Bitcoin bottoms at? When do you think altcoins will finally start to grind up? Trump's gonna tweet F them and send the bombs, right? Dude, his post the other day was so crazy. It's like, what is going on? Bro was so mad. He's like, open the effing straight, you crazy bastards. Like, are you the president? Or are you like a child throwing a tantrum? What is going on, bro? Are you cool? Crazy. Let me go to, I need some copium. Let's go to Bull Theory. 7 hours ago, Trump says the Iranians are asking the U.S. to keep bombing even near their homes. Says people are willing to suffer now in exchange for freedom. That's crazy. I would like to see proof of that. The language was funny. It's great. Dude, literally, we are living in Idiocracy. If you guys have not watched Idiocracy, that is a documentary from the future. And we are there, man. We are 100% there. If you guys are looking for a movie of the night, though, I'm going to recommend Anaconda on Netflix with Jack Black and Paul Rudd. It's a decent flick. Kind of a Sunday movie. I wouldn't be dying to watch it again, but I didn't hate it. Thought it was a super fun film, actually. Very fun. The premise was there. 68, 438, 62 cents on Bitcoin. Are we going to break down? And if so, how freaking long is it going to take? Because I feel like it's taking forever. Come on. Look at that. I just scooted that. I didn't even notice. This right here, you got your dip, and your dip. And then that's where our bottom was. Way back here. So we might not go below 60K, man. Again, it's just a stupid fractal, so it's not anything crazy, but the price has done that in the past, so I don't know. What's the DXY looking like? Let's go see. It's holding 100. I will say, if the DXY pumps and your asset increases as well, your asset has a very strong reason for increasing in value. Because the dollar increasing and your asset increasing, that's like leverage, basically. Okay. 280 billion wiped out from U.S. stocks. 30 minutes as war escalation fears rise. I don't know. Do I risk scrolling through my feed? Oh my gosh. See, there's already people getting shot. This is ridiculous. Wintermute started liquidating all its crypto on Binance during low liquidity hours. Insiders say they're dumping millions of Bitcoin right now because of the Iran deal failure. Looks like a huge dump is coming tomorrow. I don't generally like to talk shit about a man when he's down, but if you uncork the bottleneck between your cheeks and loudly rip juicy, flatulent ass at the podium while you're about to falsely declare the Strait of Hormuz loose and open for biz, I can't help you. Sorry, Hegs. Did he fart? No. Stop! Pete Hegseth ripped ass? I watched that live. I didn't hear the fart, dude. I'm kind of mad I didn't hear the fart live. Dixie said, like dong, OMG rocket ship. I can't believe there was a fart. Let's go take a look at dong. Very nice. Dong holding up way better than Cardano. You could have bought dong any time since freaking November. Since even further back, October. Since October, and you would have outperformed Cardano. US dollar valuation. Boop-a-doo. Fartcoin to $100. Oh, shit. US dollar has seen better days, but still somehow holding up better than ADA. What a damn shame. What a damn shame. We asked for no war and we got farts. This is crazy.
Good morning.
Bro knew. Look at that face. He reached for the mic. He's like, is this going to pick up that audio? Does he make a fart face? Dude, he like leaned into it. I think his posture changes when the fart happens, bro. He's like... That's crazy. Oh, shit. All right, HQZ. Yep, we read that Farcoin to $100. Let's go take a look at Siren. We were looking at that the other day. We missed the short because it took a year to deposit anything from freaking Coinbase. It was Coinbase's fault. It's up 11% down the day. Yep. So we got rug number 1, rug number 2, rug number 3, and reverse rug number 1 has begun. Pretty crazy stuff, guys. Pretty crazy stuff. You know what this is? This is an asset that somebody launched and it exploded. Then the person that launched it was like, oh shit, that stupid coin is up. They sold a crap ton. Then they're like, I'm done. I don't like screwing people over. I have morals. This is not okay. And then a couple hours went by and they were like, what am I talking about? I don't give a shit about these people. They sold some more. And then it blew up. They did it again. They sold a little bit. And then they sold a lot of it. And then it blew up. And they waited a couple of days. They went on vacation, whatever. Then they were like, well, I still have a couple million sitting in here. Boom. Done. I don't know if they hold more still. Fully speculating. But it's fun to speculate. So. Numero uno. Where's the liquidity pool? 18.7 million. That's not right. What is that? Just a burn contract? Whose is that? Man, it's got to be an exchange. Is that a burn? Dad, yeah, that's a burn wallet. 167.4 million burned. Wow. 27.17% of the supply. The rest we can't tell who's who. We do know that technically third, if you don't count the first one, because it's a dead wallet, is a contract. It might be a lock. It might be a liquidity contract. I don't know. Let me go check it actually on CoinMarketCap. See if there's an unlock schedule. Number 83 still after all that? That's crazy. Holder count's going up. That's actually kind of funny. Top 10 holders have 51.41. If you don't count this 27.17%, then it's about, what is it? 51.41 minus 27.17. 24.24. So the top 10 holders hold approximately 25% of the supply. And again, one of those is going to be the liquidity protocol. One of those, I think, is just a locked up contract somewhere. I don't know. It might be, maybe it's liquidity on an exchange. Yeah, it might be Binance volume. It might be there. Yeah, see, they're listed on Binance, Gate, KuCoin, MXC, BingX, Bitmark, Altbank. So there's a chance that a good chunk of these are exchanges. And so far, it doesn't look like any of them have made any transactions. It's definitely a completed rug, though, in my opinion. Which means it could go up. Which means maybe they, I don't know, they probably have more. So just be careful. Don't get rugged on a secondary rugging. You know what I mean? Okay, we asked Grok, what price do you think Bitcoin bottoms at? When do you think altcoins will finally start to grind up? My take on Bitcoin's next bottom. I expect it to test 60 to 65, potentially 58 to 62 in a sharp liquidity flush. When though? 200-week moving average. Prominent voices like Arthur Hayes are explicitly calling for a dip below 60K. Before a massive run up to 250K, that'd be sick. Options markets are pricing in downside acceleration below 68. Bitcoin has been range bound in the 60 to 75 zone for months. History shows these consolidations often retest the lower end before breaking out. That's actually true. I wish XRPL memes would get listed. Deeper crash below 55K would require macro shock. And I don't see this as the cycle low. More like a healthy mid-bull correction. Ooh! Does that mean Ben Cowan is smarter than artificial intelligence? That'd be really funny, dude, I'm telling you. Altcoins finally start to grind up, not imminently. Expect the real sustained grind higher for alts to begin Q3, Q4 2026 earliest, spilling into 2027. Bottom line, Bitcoin bottom window. Watch for retest of 60 to 65 over the next 1 to 3 months. That would be the buy the dip zone for the next leg. Alts grind up, trigger Bitcoin dominant sustainably below 55%. Alt season index climbing towards 50 plus equals rotation time. Earliest realistic start, mid to late 2026. Crypto moves fast, stay nimble. Watch those two metrics, dominance plus alt index and size responsibly. Biggest moves often happen when everyone is bored and waiting. Patience has been the meta this cycle. Follow me or you'll regret it. All right. I guess that will be the evening, ladies and gents. Yeah. Not too much going on here. Is that what we're looking for? Is that the final leg down? I actually don't hate that still. It looks really good. Damn it. I don't know. Not holding my breath. Let's see what happens up. I suppose I'm going to call it evening, like I said. I'm going to go get some food in my body. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys don't think we're going to get a peace deal? Damn. We got 5 votes. I asked you guys, do you think we'll see a peace deal, ceasefire tomorrow? 60% of you guys said no, Trump will bomb them all. 40% said yes, no other option. We got a total of 5 votes. Guys, as always, when the market starts to do anything crazy or anything at all, I will hop back on. Otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow. Don't forget to smash the like button on your way out. Happy Monday and good night.